You're listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, a couple of trips to the dump, a little childhood television trauma, and how to weasel out of your volunteer gig. I like the podcast to be sort of, kind of cheerful, that I'm just having an I hate everybody day.
Oh, yeah, I've been having a week like that.
When you have a week of I hate everybody, is it usually a lot of little things or one big thing that then makes you hate all the little things that come after it?
Both.
Well,
Except I don't hate Frankie. But yes, I hate everybody.
I think that's lovely, and at the same time, it makes me slightly nauseous. So,
There you go. He's a sweet boy.
he is, and he really is genuinely sweet. There are some people. It's funny you should mention that. There are some people in this world who are just so nice that I don't quite believe they're real. And until they've demonstrated that they really are quite real, I dislike them a little bit because I think it must be a big old fake out.
Well, you know him.
Yeah, he's real. I'm just thinking of some other people. Like there's been somebody that I had to talk to this week who's a genuinely lovely person. And I just can't, I get twitchy because I don't believe it, but then I sort of have to believe it because I've never had any evidence to the contrary.
I'm twitchy like that. I'm very picky who my friends are.
Yeah.
And who I trust.
Yeah.
At this point in my life.
Yep.
You know, I've learned a lot of lessons along the way.
As you do. You learn lessons. You learn that there are actually some people who are genuinely nice through and through. Maybe about 5 roaming the world.
I keep my circle tight and small.
Well, I feel honored.
You're in there.
I know.
And Molly and Lynn, too. Just because I know they're listening.
This is becoming like Romper Room. And I see in my magic mirror today, I see Lynn and Harriet.
Romper, Stomper, Bumper, Boo.
Right. If you're too young to remember, there used to be a children's show called Romper Room. Puppets and games and little kids. But the thing that everybody remembers is that at some point during the show, the woman who hosted it would pick up a hand mirror, the kind you would find on somebody's vanity. And she would look into this mirror and there would be a swirling, very primitive video effect. And she would say it was her magic mirror. And she would greet all of the people that she saw watching Romper Room. And if ever there was need for DEI, it was Romper Room. Because all the names were always these, my people came over on the Mayflower American names. And I see Muffy and Robert and Theodore. And there was never anything vaguely ethnic at all. And so people with names like Turi, we were truly and royally screwed by Romper Room.
You know what? And I don't know what made me do this, but the other day, I got up in the morning and all I could think about was Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. Do you remember that?
I love
TV
Kukla.
show?
I have a 33 and a half LP of Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, I believe.
Well, oh, dude, I looked it up and watched an old episode and it was frightening.
Why?
It was frightening.
Well, before you describe it, you need to explain Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. It came out of Chicago and it involved puppets.
Yeah.
And Kukla was...
It had to have been on the Superstation on WGN.
So Kukla was, I believe, the clown, and Ollie was the dragon, and Fran was the puppeteer, I believe, or at least the human. Yes. Yes. What's frightening about it? You can't just say that it's frightening. Puppets just scare you?
Especially clown puppets, because you're combining clowns with puppets. And I don't particularly like either one. Just like people in costumes. And my youngest child has, I guess, inherited this from me because she's also like terribly freaked out by people walking around in costumes, which saved us a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because
no trip to Disney World for you.
No. I want to see the faces. But
wait.
I don't know
now,
why.
You've really hit on something. You want to see the faces.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, there was a movie where they all wore president masks and robbed a bank. those kind of things freak me out. I need to see people's faces. I'd rather see people in makeup than people covered with masks,
Huh.
if that
Interesting.
makes
I will
sense.
file this away as a true thing about you. Here's the
And
thing.
no puppets.
No puppets. No puppets for you.
No.
Not even Sherry Lewis with lamb chop and
I
Charlie
bought
horse.
each one of my dogs a lamb chop, and it was lamb chop's nose that
I
got
remember.
stuck
Caused the
in
intestinal
Sherry's.
distress, $5,000 worth of vet bills later. They pulled lamb
So
chop's
yeah,
nose
no,
out of your dog's tush.
exactly. No, no lamb chop. Yeah.
I have something to add to your household hazard list.
Yes.
So here's the thing. You fall on flat surfaces and I fall on
Yes, I
flat
do.
surfaces. And I trip over my own furniture and you trip over your own furniture. But now the household hazard list has to include small tools that you never anticipated could permanently maim you. And
Uh-oh.
I'm not permanently maimed, but I was peeling vegetables. I was very excited. I had a new vegetable peeler.
Oh, did you peel your finger?
I peeled my fingernail.
Oh, ow.
I know. I'm like, what?
Oh,
Ow.
oh,
I'm not going to show it to
oh.
you. But I just
No,
thought,
don't.
what kind of idiot must I be that you get the whole point of the vegetable peeler is that you don't use a knife and cut yourself. So they make basically the equivalent of a safety peeler, which is a handle and then that little thing that goes on the handle that moves, pivots so that you can
Yeah.
peel your carrot or your parsnip or your potato or your ginger or whatever you're peeling. And I don't know what got into me, but I just kind of literally and figuratively lost my grip. And
Oh, my
I
goodness.
know. And
What were you peeling at the time?
ginger, a piece of ginger.
Maybe ginger was your downfall. Maybe you were on a ginger high.
I made a food for dinner tonight. I made it last night because it's always better on the second night. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because you'll go, ew.
Probably.
Of course you will. But I had to make it earlier because it's like soup. It's better on the second day. It turns out that it involved a preparing vegetable where you have to get a particular version of the vegetable. I'll just tell you.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, the vegetable that I got was too young and fresh and tightly bound together and healthy for me to really use it. So I was busy peeling and pulling and
Ugh.
yeah, that's enough cooking information for everybody. I
Actually,
think that's enough.
you know what? I'm going to
Yes.
add one little thing.
Yeah.
I only learned in this past year that there's a difference between a British cucumber and a cucumber.
Oh, and let's add on to that to confuse you yet further. Persian cucumbers.
Persian, I haven't seen. They don't carry those at
They're
the
really
Safeway.
they're like miniature dollhouse cucumbers. They're tiny and cute. When you come, I'll feed you a Persian cucumber.
Do they taste like cucumbers?
Yes, very cucumbery.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, now I'm disappointed.
That they don't have
I don't
Persian.
have any trips planned.
You do have a trip planned, I'll betcha. But in Mexico,
We're
where you're going for
driving.
your big birthday, I don't think you should be eating the fresh produce out of the.
No, we usually take a cooler of our own food.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So they usually have like a big water dispenser thing
Oh, yeah.
that you drink.
You trust
Yeah.
that? Oh,
I haven't gotten sick there yet.
I'm just trying to rattle your cage a little bit.
I know you are. And this weekend, we're actually getting a filter put on our water system, which is awesome.
Hmm?
It's been non-filtered, and it is aquifer water that comes straight up from an aquifer into our tanks.
Yes.
Still like some minerals in there.
Little pieces of bugs and stuff that were living in the aquifer.
Well, I can see stuff in the pure
Oh, that's
water
probably not a
fire
good
thing
idea.
or
No.
water filter thing.
No.
So yeah, we don't want to think about that. We're getting Astroturf. We're doing some
Woo,
some
look at you.
improvements.
Astroturf.
Yep, we can have a football game.
You can wear your little Detroit Lions outfit.
Little Detroit Lions outfit. I have like 1 million Detroit Lions shirts.
Huh?
But
I guess you'll be wearing one.
something else I learned in this shopping experience:
Yes.
dogs can't dig holes in after Astroturf.
Oh, I don't know. We're fostering one right now that I would warrant you could dig an entire coal mine if you got started.
Well, I kind of thought that about Jerry Garcia, but then I had to read like the science of AstroTurf.
And
they can't do it.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That'll be nice for you.
Yeah, we're gonna pop a swing set on it for
For
the
the
little one
small
too.
grandchild. Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know about you, but I take a tremendous satisfaction in watching the dirt that I have cleaned go away. Do you think that's weird? Is this part of my picking gene? Like, I like to wring out the dirty dish rag, and I like to wring out the thing that when I mop the floor, I like to wring out the mop. I like to see that I have physically succeeded in removing dirt from my household. And I don't understand people who just like, they just blithely pour out the bucket without even bothering to enjoy, to get any satisfaction from the filth that they have removed. Is it just me who takes great delight in filth removal?
Well, I've been doing the same thing all week this week, but outside.
Ah,
So it's the opposite. I'm happy seeing the dirt as I pick up all the junk laying around from the winter.
ah.
Like tomorrow is big dumping day.
What is Big Dumping Day?
Frankie brings home the giant construction size dump truck, and we throw all the old furniture and anything else that's been laying around in the snow all winter. And then we drive it to Flagstaff and dump it.
Spring is definitely going to the dump day for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're cleaning the outside. So I get satisfaction from seeing the dirt outside underneath all this crap that I've been piling in a
Oh,
giant pile every day.
I see. And then what do you do with the dirt? Do you like save it for the garden or what do you?
My dog poops on it. I mean, our whole.
Dog poops
I'm
on
just
it?
talking about 5 acres of dirt.
Okay. All right. They don't dump the 5 acres of dirt. I realize that.
No, no, no. Things grow from it. Dogs poop on it. Cats
Useful.
poop on it.
Useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now let me ask you yet another question.
Yeah.
Well, when you have volunteered for stuff, and I know you typically volunteer, you volunteer for all kinds of things. You volunteer
Yep.
for political causes and animal causes and the hospice, thrift store. And at what point do you just go, that's enough? I don't want to talk to anybody about anything at all anymore. I'm done for a while. Or do you? Is it just me?
It took me many years. When I had my first arm surgery, or the first huge arm surgery 2 years ago,
Yeah.
I quit everything.
You're telling me that if I really want to wrest my life back from all of these things, I need to have an arm surgery.
You gotta hurt yourself. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I do have a shoulder surgery coming up, and I was not looking forward to it, but thank you. Now I am.
Tell everybody.
Now
Say,
I am.
I'm having this massive surgery. I can't do it anymore. And just to say the same thing to everybody.
And then do you send them like a picture of yourself with your? I don't want to see any more pictures of anybody in a hospital gown. I really don't. But I would send them a picture of like a scar or something if I thought it would get me out of more work.
Well, my scar is really gnarly. And so I sent it to as many people as I thought they could look at it, like my brothers. My kids all wanted to see it. I did not send you a picture.
No,
of
I
it
don't
'cause
find that appealing at all.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Um,
This is an expensive microphone. If I throw up on it, it's a big replacement cost.
I get you. There are days when I can't look at it. It's covered right now. It's still pretty gnarly, but it's my right hand, and I needed my right hand to work a cash register at the thrift store, or to make lists of things for the animals or whatever I was doing at the time. And I don't do any of that anymore.
It really does look like I'm going to have to essentially beat myself up in some entirely new and painful way in order
Use
to
it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
Use the shoulder. Use it.
I'm going to use it. I've got my mission now cut out for me. Thanks for listening to Tory Writer's She Said What podcast. We're glad you found us, and I hope you'll find my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air. It's all true, but I've changed the names of the people and the radio stations and a bunch of other stuff because I'd prefer not to get sued. You can find it at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon.